Up next on Eco Company.
Teens who aren't afraid to get a little dirty.
You're gonna work as a team to get as much of the invasive ice plant away from the shoreline as possible.
What can you do to help save the shorelines? It's as easy as putting on your gloves.
Then, Girl Scouts to the rescue. Chopping, digging, and planting.
I like helping the environment, and then this was a great way to do it, helping the land and the salmon in the water.
They're helping restore a habitat to save an endangered salmon.
And giving up a Saturday to help save the redwoods.
I just wanted to come here, represent my school, and clean up this redwood grove and show its beauty to the world.
They're some of the oldest and tallest in the world, and these guys want to keep it that way.
Plus a little friendly competition.
It's like a competition who has the biggest weed, and then whoever has the biggest weed gets a free toilet paper roll.
That's the prize.
Spending their summer on Cruz Island and restoring a natural wetlands.
All that and more on Eco Company.
Starting right now. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to Eco Company. I'm Chris.
And I'm Riley. And today the show is all about restoring natural habitats.
From shorelines to creeksides to redwood groves, the teens you're about to meet are working with one common goal.
To protect an environment important to a natural ecosystem.
Our first group of eco warriors are hitting the beach to rid it of an invasive species, and Brendan is there to help.
They are eco warriors, ready to do battle. Their mission to protect these shorelines. The place, Point Pinole Regional Shoreline in Richmond, California. And if you can believe it, it's the former home of a gunpowder company. Even today, it's flanked by a huge oil refinery.
It's a lot of stuff going wrong in the pollution and the water, and it's a lot of stuff that's affecting us as humans, so this can be a good change since us as youth are helping.
She's taking part in a program called Teen Eco Action Week, run by the East Bay Park Service. Bethany Fachendini is a naturalist here.
As a naturalist, I connect people with the environment and lead natural and cultural history walks and other types of programs like camping excursions, backpacking, camps, restoration projects.
A restoration project is just what happens to be in order during our visit. First up, a lesson about just what wildlife they're protecting.
This particular animal thrives in the salt marsh here. Today we are going to be doing a black rail habitat restoration project. The black rail is a threatened species that lives in salt marshes and freshwater marshes, and they're going to be removing an invasive plant species called ice plant that comes from South Africa. With your group, you're going to work as a team to get as much of the invasive ice plant away from the shoreline as possible and then carry it up to this point.
Then after gearing up,
Are you guys ready? Set, go! Great, you guys. So guys, we're gonna try to concentrate in one area so we can complete one area at a time and then spread out from that area.
So what's this floppy little plant here?
This is ice plant, and it's native to South Africa, and South Africa has a climate that's similar to ours, and so it thrives in this region. And as you can tell, it's created this carpet where other plants can't survive and thrive.
We're picking them out to help the native plants get their environment back.
after that job's done, it's not quitting time just yet. You can't visit a shoreline without picking up a little trash before you leave.
And then you're gonna try to pick up all the itty bitty pieces of plastic and styrofoam that a shorebird or another creature might think is food.
I'm interested in cleaning up the environment and making sure the earth is not polluted.
At the end of the day, it's about connecting with nature and a whole lot more.
they are going to be making really tough decisions for our future. It's very humbling to know that this program might be a really small influence or a really large influence that impacts them in making positive decisions and protecting the environment in the future.
Hi guys, I'm here walking alongside the Lagunitas Creek in Northern California, a major spawning site for coho salmon. But this environment has been changing, and not always for the better. A little ways up the creek, some Girl Scouts are working to do something about it.
It's a great day to be out in the sunshine, and these Girl Scouts know it.
Yeah, I love being outdoors.
Sunny skies, green views everywhere you look, even a nearby creek. What more could you ask for? Well, how about the chance to help an endangered fish?
The salmon are an endangered species. It means there's not very many of them left.
Coho salmon swim in this very river in San Geronimo, California. And this scout troop wants to make sure it stays that way.
We're just so happy to have y'all's help today.
They're volunteering with SPAWN, the Salmon Protection and Watershed Network, alongside restoration scientist Jonathan Applebaum.
The habitat restoration that the Girl Scouts are helping us with today is designed to restore habitat conditions for both the salmon and other wildlife.
Kimberly Miller heads up the Girl Scouts Green by Nature program.
What we're trying to do is expose girls to all the different efforts to conserve and have impact on the environment.
Habitat is key to the coho's continued survival in this creek. It's one of only a few in this region to support healthy fish populations.
Many streams in the Bay Area no longer have spawning at all, and some have far fewer fish.
Threats to salmon, like overharvesting, are something these young women, like Leah Dina Tay, aren't just here to learn about, but do something about too.
It's important because it helps save all the animals that we care about.
SPAWN intern Kelsey McInnes helps organize volunteer efforts like this one.
It's important that we make sure that this habitat is preserved for the salmon and also for our future generations to enjoy it.
Today, it's about saving the salmon by getting this area back to its natural state. First up, that means clearing out this stuff.
Himalayan blackberry is very aggressive, and once it gets established, almost nothing else can grow there. We're having them trim the blackberry. We'll also come in and dig out the roots so that we can replace it with native species.
No roots left behind. It's no easy task. Then there's pulling other pesky weeds.
Chop, 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 and then pull them out.
It's all work that requires gloves, tools, and as high school junior Emily Estelita knows, a careful hand.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth it because I like seeing, because when you clear out everything, then you see all the work that you've done, so it's really nice to see all that come together.
Next up, it's time to fill in some of the spaces left behind.
The Girl Scouts will be planting a few dozen native plant species.
Okay, I'm putting on my gloves to get ready to dig in and get dirty.
This is called a sticky monkey flower.
So just what do they hope these plants do?
By planting native species, we do what's really beneficial for the salmon. That's keeping the soil on the uplands where it belongs and out of the streams.
This is a sticky monkey plant, which is native to this area, and I'm planting it to keep out rocks and wood chips and make it healthy.
High school freshman Natalie Estelita has her hands full too.
I think it's really important to keep our earth clean and stuff. It's like where we live, and so it's better to help out so that you're more involved.
And we want our youth to grow up really feeling that sense of responsibility and stewardship.
Well, planting looks good. Now let's give a little something to the roots. And it's a job well done.
Yeah, I like helping the environment, and then this was a great way to do it, helping the land and the salmon in the water.
So from digging up plants that don't belong to planting ones that do, these girls are doing their part to save an endangered species that they all hope is around for years to come.
It's our hope to have a very healthy native community here in the matter of a few years, and to slowly see the number of coho salmon recover back towards what it historically was in the stream.
Thank you, Jonathan, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. We can't do it without
Yay,
salmon!
Yay, Girl Scouts!
Coming up, there's a lot more work to be done.
And next, we head to the Redwoods.
We came down here last year and I saw it, and it was all just covered in ivy and just didn't look half as what it used to be.
Restoring a grove of these majestic giants.
And later, spending the summer on Cruz Island. But it's not all fun in the sun.
Well, I had them weeding part of the wetland down here.
These guys are helping to restore a natural wetlands.
Yeah, I wish other kids can get the same opportunity as we do, like being on this beautiful island.
More Eco Company is still ahead. Our next group of restoration warriors are headed to a redwood grove in Los Altos, California.
This grove's been around since the 1920s, but it's seen better days.
These teens are giving up a Saturday to do something about it.
Brendan and Jordan put on gloves to give them a hand and to find out more.
We are going to work you guys today.
It's Saturday morning, but you won't find these guys sleeping in.
Grab a shovel or loppers or clippers.
Instead, they're grabbing gloves and garden tools. These teens are members of Brick Brothers, a club at St. Francis High School in Mountain View, California. And they've decided to spend part of their weekend pitching in to restore this redwood grove. Greg Buslani heads up the club.
I used to come down here when I was younger for birthday parties and all that stuff, and then it kind of started to go downhill, and so I'm just it interested me to restore it, get it back to what it used to be.
Over the years, the grove's developed two big problems. One, plants that don't belong here are taking over the area.
We came down here last year and I saw it, and it was all just covered in ivy and just didn't look half as what it used to be.
Two, the creek's bank's in bad shape and could easily flood. It's a situation that threatens the entire ecosystem, and it's something that these teens are here to do something about.
What we want to do is try to dig up the blackberry. This is the Himalayan blackberry here.
Junko Bryant is a restoration director with Actera, the nonprofit group that's organized this ongoing project.
This is one of our projects here, and we bring a lot of, obviously, students and community members out to pull weeds and plant plants.
Neil Ramachandran and Anshul Sitaram are both hard at work.
What made you want to come out here?
Just to help the environment. This is kind of like in our backyards.
Well, I just wanted to come here, represent my school, and clean up this redwood grove so more people could use it and show its beauty to the world.
One of their tasks is to get these unwanted plants out of here.
Got it. We just want to take them out so that native plants can regrow here.
The Himalayan blackberry is an invasive plant.
Invasive species threaten the biodiversity by outcompeting native plants that support our wildlife.
Those native plants provide food, like seeds and berries, that birds and other wildlife rely on to survive. All the way down to this guy, the banana slug. Time to give these guys a hand. And it definitely takes some muscle to get all the way down to the roots.
This is the deepest root I've ever dug.
Okay, so getting rid of invasive plants isn't just about protecting wildlife. It's also about protecting these.
The other thing they were concerned about down here that is the health of the redwoods.
These giants need all the water they can get, but invasives absorb a lot of the water in the ground. This is what the redwoods need.
If you look out amongst the trees, there's plants under the trees, there's a ton of leaf litter, which we call duff, under the redwoods, and that's like a good layer of mulch. It feeds the soil, it helps the soil absorb water better.
Now it's time for Operation Creek Bank. It's also been a victim of invasives because their roots don't go deep enough to stabilize the soil. These guys are solving that problem like this. They're shoring up the creek bank using trees.
We were cutting down branches from a willow tree and we're putting them into the ground over that hill to help erosion so it doesn't all collapse.
If you want to come in here and cut.
They're chopping them into 3 and 4 foot pieces. The whole idea is to plant them along the bank where they'll grow into trees. Joan Dudney is also with Actera.
The roots grow really deep and they create a network on the bank that will hold the soil in when there's flash floods or even rain.
Oh, so these will actually grow once they're put in. Wow.
The stakes will grow into new willows if we plant them correctly.
It's definitely work that requires your complete concentration.
You got to make sure your aim is on for this one.
So from cutting down trees to staking them into the ground and digging up these, it's all in a Saturday morning's work for these guys.
Everyone's kind of in their own shell these days, so just trying to help nature and help these trees continue to grow.
Weekend warriors leaving their mark on the planet.
How would you like to spend your summer on an island?
Well, that's just what our next group of teens got to do.
We'll catch up with them to find out why. More Eco Company still ahead. Hi guys, thanks again for joining us on Eco Company.
Next, Adam and Jordan traveled to Santa Cruz Island, a protected habitat owned jointly by the Nature Conservancy and the National Park Service.
There, they meet up with a group of interns who are working to preserve this pristine environment.
Their task on this day, restoring a wetlands habitat.
To the untrained eye, this may all look, well, normal. A plot of land with plants and grasses every which way. But the paid summer interns from the Nature Conservancy's LEAF program know differently.
These weeds that we're pulling out, they're invasive species, and they're kind of destroying the species that are native to this biome. They're killing them, so we're trying to protect the native species here.
A native plant is one that seems to have made it over here all by itself or drifting over on the wind or currents. A non-native plant is one that hasn't evolved in this area and has been usually brought over by humans.
Non-native plants are a nuisance because they take resources from the native plants. Colleen Corey knows because she's a plant ecologist.
So what's one of the projects that the students have been working on?
Well, I had them weeding part of the wetland down here.
Those weeds look much shorter now.
Yeah, they do from up here. Once we get down there, you'll see that they're quite a bit taller and rather daunting.
At ground level, she's right. They're not easy to pull. But these teens aren't afraid of using a little muscle.
So we're like, it's a competition who has the biggest weed, and then whoever has the biggest weed gets a free toilet paper roll.
That's a surprise! They have been great. They have just been terrific.
All of these efforts are part of a bigger plan to get this former wetland back in tip-top shape.
Why do you think it's so important that young people get involved so early on?
Well, I think that it's really important for young people to get involved because we're trying to start them young, right? Trying to start them, get them appreciating nature at a very early age. So when they go off to college and they go off to do their careers, they kind of remember that and feel passionate about saving this planet.
So from ground zero of a former wetland to mountaintops in search of foxes, not to mention a reconnaissance mission, these future environmental leaders are ready for action.
Yeah, I wish other kids can get the same opportunity as we do, like being on this beautiful island. So help them become a part of the solution.
It's a solution these teens are already a part of, on an island with a new lease on life.
I wish I could live another 50 years and come back and see what it looks like in 50 years, because I think it's going to be beautiful. I really do. It's going to be a biologist's delight.
This is the bat cave, where they say the bats are. Are you ready?
Maybe you should just go alone.
I'm not going alone. You're coming with me. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Okay. We're in the bat lair.
I think I hear something. I'm pretty sure they're up here.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, ready?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh,
we survived.
Oh, we survived.
That was a little bit stressful.
All right.
A lot stressful.
We'll still make more Eco Company episodes.
True.
Let's just get away from that.
Adam and Jordan had a lot of fun with that segment, but the truth is, bats are nothing to be afraid of.
In fact, bats contribute more than most people know to the environment.
Bats are vital to the restoration and enrichment of our ecosystems, like rainforests and other key habitats.
They also contribute to human health by performing essential services such as pollination and insect control.
While we had fun with that segment, we hold bats in high regard for their role in a healthy planet.
And now you do too. More Eco Company is still ahead.
You could be a part of Eco Company too.
Create your own video.
Shoot a story about being green.
Or somebody doing something unique to help save the planet.
Add some music and have some fun.
Then upload your video at eco-company.tv. So join the company, Eco Company.
And be a part of the solution.
Well, that wraps things up for this episode of Eco Company. Thanks for tuning in.
For more information on the stories on this show, check out our website at eco-company.tv.
And remember, you too can be a part of the solution. We'll see you next time
on Eco Company.